Hey guys, I'm Brian with Fort Knox Company, and normally I'm on here doing videos about DIY and things that I build, but in this video, I'm gonna tell you everything about BEARizona. We recently went there with the family, and I did a little bit of research before we went, but even while we were there, I learned a few other things. So in this video, I'm gonna give you everything you need to know before you go. But really, there was some stuff that while we were there that I think that you need to make sure you know before you go so that you can make sure that you have the best experience while you're there. So let's watch this video. I'll show you everything that we saw while we were there, and I'm gonna let you know a couple little secrets as we go through the park. So let's watch, and I'll tell you all about it. So right when you pull off the freeway, there's lots of signs. It's pretty much the only thing that's off that exit unless you want to just continue out into the forest. But it points you in the right direction to BEARizona, giant entrance you can't miss. Right when you pull up, there's a gate that you enter. You can buy your tickets there or you can buy them online. And then they just give you a quick little advisory of roll up your windows when you get around the bears and the wolves and enjoy the park. They're totally cool with you taking video and pictures as you need to. And right off the bat, you have your Rocky Mountain goats. Kind of feels like Jurassic Park when you're walking in because you got these big old gates, but it's really nice. It's really cool. We found these goats right here just walking around our truck first thing, so it was a good sign that this was going to be a really cool trip. And these things will walk all around your vehicle. The mile per hour is I think like 5-10 miles an hour as you're going through the park, and you're probably going to want to stop a lot and take pictures and videos. Next up was the reindeers. This was a really large forest area, and at first we couldn't even find any reindeers. I was thinking, okay, well, maybe they're sleeping, maybe they're still in their pens, but you could actually see them here hiding out in the back, just kind of laying around in the shade of the trees. We were here kind of early in the morning, so I think overall all the animals were just kind of getting up and moseying around. Then we went into another section with different deers. They had them kind of separated, and again, these guys were just walking around. Looks like they were snacking on food or just kind of waking up. But this one had a lot more deers running around, and we stopped a lot and just kind of watched them and let the kids see. Right before we left this area, there was a little herd of them up in this little grassy pasture, and this guy with these big old antlers just came walking right out in front of us with no fear. And we just stopped and let him kind of do his thing. I'm sure we're probably not the first vehicle he's seen coming around here, and he knows that we're going to stop for him, but he walked right alongside my driver door. It was a really cool experience to see something like this so close. My kids loved it. My wife was also able to get a lot of really good videos and pictures. Our kids enjoyed just sitting there watching them drink water or eat the grass. And we were just literally feet away from them. Then we went into the burrows, and in this section we didn't really see too many, so I think they were kind of hidden. But next up was the tundra wolves, and right here they have all the signs that say roll up your windows. So through these sections you need to roll your windows up. And at first we didn't see them, but right towards the end they were all gathered around the exit because they were looking at the wolves in the area next to them. So these guys were really big, but they walked right up to the truck. They were walking right around my driver door, and then they actually kind of started to hang around the back of the truck for a little bit. So we sat there for just a minute. Luckily it wasn't too busy, and we were able to kind of really enjoy watching these guys walk around. And that brings me to one of the things that I found out when doing my research. They said that if you want to try to avoid the crowds, they recommend coming during the week. Obviously on the weekends it's going to be a little busy, but we came in on a Monday and planned it just right, came in the morning, and we almost didn't see any vehicles throughout the whole entire trip. So we were able to stop, take pictures and videos as much as we wanted, and we didn't feel like anybody was coming up behind us and gonna want to have us move along. So right after the first section of wolves, there was another area of wolves, and then we moved right into the junior bears. They said that because the wolves were so interested in the back of my truck, They recommend that I do not stop during the junior bear section because these guys may climb on your vehicle. Kind of scared my wife for a second, but they said it's not really common. They just said for some reason, if the wolves liked my truck, then the bears might like it as well. So just don't stop for too long and don't let them get too close to the truck. But you can see here in the video, these guys were just waking up also, hanging out. They have little caves and dens and all these different trees that they kind of walk around. It's a really, really large area, so they have a lot of room to kind of run around. After the bears, we went into the white bison section, and here you can actually roll your windows down again and you can just feel the air, feel a little bit closer to these guys. And they had all these different buffaloes standing around, and it looked like they had just put out some feed for them, so they were more concerned with hanging out around the food. But that allowed us to actually get right up next to them and take some good videos and pictures. Right before I actually took this video, there was a little scuffle between these guys over at this feeding bin. It was kind of cool to see them fighting or kind of running around and fighting for the food. It was a little intense for how big these guys were when you see all the fur flying, but I wasn't able to actually get that on video. This is another area where I found out that here I am going onto a dirt road. There's little signs that they didn't tell us at the front that you can actually pull off the paved road, and it's a little arrow, and you can actually do a loop through a lot of these sections. There was a lot of other vehicles missing this, and they actually didn't take advantage of these extra loops through the area. They felt like they had to stay on the pavement, and there's a lot of sections where the pavement either curves around or in the buffalo area, you can actually go out into the dirt and drive around the pasture where these guys are hanging out. Right after the buffaloes, there were the bighorn sheep, and then there were the big bears. Again, we had to roll up our windows, and we had to kind of film these guys from a distance because these guys, again, were just walking through the trees. Everybody was waking up, but these guys were a little bit bigger, and it was really cool to kind of see them loitering around and kind of figuring out what's going on for the day. This section also had one of those loops that you can drive through to kind of make it a little bit longer of a drive in this area. And then right before you get to the exit, again, there was another loop that you could actually drive through and around. So we came back and saw this guy on the way out. He was probably the coolest one because he was just right out in the open. You see him just walking across the street. I don't think I've ever really seen a bear in person, so seeing these things again right outside my truck was really cool. After we made that loop, we came back and saw that guy who had crossed the road, and they have a little pond over here where he decided to go swimming. And we just sat here for a little while and watched him get in the water and do his thing. Again, it wasn't busy because of the Monday that we went on and the early time frame that we went. We could take as long as we wanted really going through the park, and it was really fun. We didn't feel rushed, and the people that worked there were very nice as well. They didn't make you feel like you needed to keep going. We definitely felt like we got our money's worth. I also want to mention that we stayed in Flagstaff and then visited BEARizona, which is in Williams, Arizona. It's only 25 miles away. I had a buddy who recommended that we stay in Flagstaff because we had never been there, and I did not realize it was so close. So I'll put a link in the video of where we stayed. I did a video and a walkthrough of this little condo in the forest. It was beautiful. Click on the link and I'll show you a little review on it. So now that's pretty much the end of the drive-through. I know this video is a little bit quick, but it was definitely a lot longer. We spent at least a half hour, maybe 45 minutes driving around there nice and slow. But what we didn't realize is that right at the end of the park, included in this whole process, is an actual walk-around zoo type park as well. So you go right out the exit, they direct you directly across the parking lot to where the giant tree stumps are in the ground, and you can actually walk around, get some food. There's some little stores, There's bathrooms and everything right there when you enter. And this whole place is set up as a walk-around zoo with little areas set up with other animals as well. So this was a little bonus that we didn't realize was part of the whole package. Because of the time of the year, this is late 2020, they had everything kind of shut down as far as the bus tours that you can go on as well, but the drive-through park and the walk-through park were all open, and you can see all these different animals that the kids were able to walk around and run. There were honey badgers.
Badgers.
What is it?
Badgers.
Badgers?
There were foxes, there were eagles, there were turkeys, there were beavers, all kinds of animals these kids were able to get up and close and personal with. They even had goats.
Oh my goodness.
We had lots of fun with the kids able to run around the park. We were playing the whole time. Again, the staff was super friendly and we felt really safe there also. The whole entire park, from the drive-through all the way to the walk-through areas, were very well maintained. The animals all looked very happy and healthy, so you didn't get that feeling like these guys were your typical kind of zoo where maybe they should be out in nature. You don't really feel bad for these guys. They all look happy and healthy. And of course, at the very end, we found more bears. They had a little habitat there where they had a pool and a cave, and they were all hanging out in the water right there. It was kind of fun. What's wrong?
We're lost.
We're lost?
Yeah.
How are we ever gonna get out?
We're gonna watch this rage. I'm so scared.
Which way do we go?
This way.
Okay.
So we had a great time with the kids. They had lots of fun. They were able to burn off all that energy after sitting in the car. You can see they look like they were expanding still, and they're building more buildings and more stores. So it looks like they're constantly doing stuff and renovating. But I definitely recommend it. There's a lot of freedom and movement. You can take the family around, and they really just kind of let you do this thing at your own pace. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Did you see all the animals?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to see them next time? All right. Tell me, see you later. And that's pretty much it, guys. What do you think? We thought it was amazing. The kids had a lot of fun. Being here in Southern Nevada, it wasn't too far away. And like I said, we stayed in Flagstaff, which was just down the road. So I have the link in this video. If you didn't click on it earlier, go back to it, click that link, or you can just go into my video library and I'll show you the video on the place that we stayed in Flagstaff. Highly recommend it. I did a little walkthrough so you could get a good feel of what you get for what you pay for. But we loved it. The kids had a great time there as well. Flagstaff is beautiful. Williams, Arizona was beautiful, and the whole time was just amazing being out there in nature. So I hope you make the decision to go, enjoy with the family, and we're probably gonna visit a few other times as the kids get older, and I'm sure they're gonna have new things. You can see in the video as well that it looks like they're going to expand and that they have future plans to make this thing bigger and bigger. Looks very well maintained and taken care of, so we're excited, and it's definitely gonna be something that we continue to do as a family. So I hope you liked the video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share this with your friends. Let them know what they're missing out on, and I'll see you guys on the next build.